Welcome, everybody. We're live at another ThreatGEN Red versus Blue eSports style heads-up competition between Jerry Ozier, again, the red team, against Brandon Poole, the blue team, coming up. What's up, everybody? I'm live here with my co-host again, Simon. He doesn't have a last name. It's just Simon.
It's just Simon. It's simpler that way. Do you see what I did there?
Yeah, well, hey, that's what Simon says. So, yeah, there's all kind of Simon jokes all over the place. So we're getting started here a little bit early today. About a good, almost a full 10 minutes early to get everything going, kind of talk about our competitors today. All right, hold on real quick. Hey, Simon, why don't you go ahead and start welcoming everybody while I get some logistics taken care of real quick?
More than happy to do that. So, hey, everyone, thanks ever so much for tuning in. Another Red versus Blue heads-up special. Very, very excited to be here today, co-hosting with Clint. For those that don't know me, my name's Simon Lindstead. I'm the host and founder of the InfoSec Live community, and I'm not a cyber expert, so very passionate about cyber, but not an expert. And I think the reason Clint asks me along is so I can ask the questions that perhaps some people would be too embarrassed to ask. And while I'm on that, for anyone in the audience who watches today, there is no such thing as a stupid question. If there is something you're unsure about, or you want to dig a bit deeper into what we're doing in the game, please drop your messages in the chat. My other job is to keep an eye on that chat channel today and try and drag in some interesting questions and insight from the audience. So yeah, looking forward to it very much. I see Carey's in there dropping some jokes. Thanks, Carey. Let me read that one out. How do you make a hot dog stand? Take away its chair. It's not one of your best ones, Carey, but it's not bad. Alex, nice to see you in there as well. Clint, how's it going your side? Are you still doing your technical assistance? Or I have got a haircut, whoever that is. It doesn't say on my screen who that is. Yeah, I realised I was receding a few weeks back, and I've always said to my wife that when it comes to the point I'm combing my hair over, the shears come out, and Clint has been mocking me for it all week. So thanks for bringing that up, so he can continue to do that now. I expect, Clint.
I have got almost all my logistics taken care of here. We're a small crew here, and so whenever we have these esports style streams going, I think we're improving a bit on everyone, getting a little better, and but still, we're a small crew with a limited production crew, so we have a little bit of logistics to get through. I mean, I don't think people don't understand is that what it takes to actually put together this. I mean, this really is, as far as I know, the first of its kind ever. Sort of, number one, of course, this red team, blue team kind of thing. ThreatGEN is a first of its kind, but to be able to take one person's stream over here, another person's stream over here, playing each other, aggregate them in the middle, doing this esports broadcast style here. I mean, I think we're kind of treading on new ground here. So it takes a lot to get used to the production.
Yeah, absolutely. And as well, back to your point about the small team and the fact that we're both men, Clint, doing two things at once can be quite technically difficult for me anyway. So you'll be pleased to know, for anyone watching who knows me, I've got access to 0 buttons today. It's all in Clint's hands. So anyone, yep. I mean, we'll see a few people in the audience who's watched before. Someone's asked if we're streaming on Twitch.
We are
I'm streaming this through InfoSec Live on Twitch. I'm not sure if ThreatGEN is.
Oh,
yeah.
No. So I'm still learning how to get a scheduled simulcast on Twitch and YouTube. So maybe that's one thing we can talk about later, because I know how to go live with a simulcast. And I think maybe on this restream here, I guess really all we have to do is just link it to a Twitch account. So we need, and then when we go live, because I think that's all we're doing here. We have a schedule, but yet through the magic of restream, we're going live with a push of a button. And I think that's what we need to do. I'll figure it out.
I think I can talk to you about that afterwards. I've got the
Okay.
InfoSec Live channel up, so it streams through different ones. So we'll sort it out for the next one. But if you're not on Twitch, I can't drop the links in the comments. But if you go to the InfoSec Live channel, the Twitch link should be there if you want to watch it through there. So that would be great. Siegfried, great to see you. Canada in the house, I see representing. Really appreciate you turning up. Carey's mentioned the buttons. Yeah, no, definitely no buttons for me today. Do you want to, shall we start off talking about the players? I mean, most people who are watching probably know Jerry a little bit because he's everywhere.
So, and I don't know a whole lot about Brandon. I know that, so I'm not going to talk about Jerry. I think most people here really know Jerry as a blue teamer, a CISO type guy, GRC, and but he's been trying his hand. He's been trying his hand at the red team lately, and with mixed results. But I think that's the nature of red versus blue competitions. And Brandon, on the other hand, is also a blue teamer, really focusing on GRC as well. And he was on the last stream last week, on our Wednesday stream, the non-esports stream, just working with Jerry, going over whenever we play these streams on Wednesdays, testing the efficacy of different standards and things like that. Brandon was on with us last week talking about a standard that is really meant for, I guess, kind of creating project. It's a project management standard for creating, I guess, to help create an action plan for your mitigation. And so that's kind of where he comes from. So it's interesting. We've really got two GRC people that are competing against each other, but one playing the red team. So I'm up here waiting for their streams to start.
Who's playing red today? Do we know yet which team?
Yeah,
is
so
which?
Jerry is playing red. And Jerry's over there having mic problems. Apparently, I'm on watching the communication on our back channel for our support and our crew and our production back channel, and he's having trouble with his audio. So I mean, this is the kind of things. These are the things that happen with these live. We got 3 live productions all being merged.
You know what? This just gives us a massive opportunity for you to give those who haven't watched this before an overview of what the ThreatGEN platform is.
Yeah. So the ThreatGEN Red versus Blue platform is a cybersecurity simulation platform that allows the red team and the blue team to play against each other. And it person versus person, but there's also a single player where you can play against the computer AI, their computer opponent. And ultimately, this is a way to get the big picture. I think, Simon, you described this before, in that this helps those of you that are either learning cybersecurity or more technical already, but you want to try your hand at putting this big picture together and seeing how everything works together. And this allows for fun things like competitions. It also allows things like IR tabletop exercises. So it really is the first of its kind platform that allows anyone of any skill level to play the red team, to do red team, blue team exercises and competitions like this. That's what it is in a nutshell.
Yeah, and I think you put it far more eloquently than I have in the past. But from my not technical background, for me, what it does is give you an overview of all the different areas of cyber, especially the areas that you need to protect and the areas that can be attacked. And for anyone who's spending a lot of time on platforms like Hack the Box or Try Hack Me and getting those practical skills, it really helps you frame and understand where you're going to use those skills. I mean, for me, when I was learning that, putting it into the context, I found very difficult. And I think playing in a gamified way as well just makes the whole thing really engaging. So I'm super excited to be here and watch, and I might even cheer Jerry on today, although we had a call the other night about a different stream, didn't we, Clint? And there was an awful lot of banter going on between Jerry and another member of the team who may have beat him a few weeks ago. So clearly Jerry's a very competitive person and doesn't want to lose. So
yeah, and then it looks like we're about ready to get started. It looks like Brandon is now set up. He's waiting for Jerry. We need to hold on real quick.
Hey, Johnny, thanks for jumping in the chat. Again, for those who've just jumped in, I'm going to be keeping an eye on the chat today while Clint does the technical stuff and the important bits. So if you have got questions, I said it before, there's no such thing as a stupid question either. I'm not a technical expert. I'd like to think that whether you're a seasoned pro or whether you're entry level, that there's ways to learn through engaging and watching this game. So please do ask those questions if you've got them. It's really important. Kerry says that Jerry's still trying to get a mic going. You think you might need to buy him a new one, Clint?
Oh, what is he saying there? Yeah, well, I can assure you that this has nothing to do with the ThreatGEN equipment that Jerry, has. This is absolutely his own mucking around with settings and doing things. And Simon, you and I are jumping through some technical hoops in our streams here, right? We've got YouTube going through OBS, going through all this restream, but Jerry, he likes to take it to the next level, and he has all these special audio effects and everything.
He moves things around and makes it very complicated. I was laughing a moment ago because I noticed that Alex put in the chat, in other news, Simon, water is damp and has a direction of down. I hope I didn't come across like a newscaster then. I certainly didn't mean to. Thanks for the joke. It was good. Someone's popped in and said EJPT versus PMPT for first pen test cert. Have you got any thoughts on that? I know we're not here to talk about certs, but any personal experience, Clint?
Yeah, right now, this is a hard context to talk about certs right now, but I will say I don't even know what PNPT is or EJPT. I think EJPT is that the one from the East from the eCouncil. I think EJPT is eCouncil.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's I can't remember who the guy is. I know him as well, so he'll be swearing at me while I'm saying this. EJPT is an entry level, a junior pen tester course. I think the coursework is free. This might be wrong. This is from memory, and I am nearly 50. But you actually have to pay for the exam. And one of our members of the community at InfoSec Live sat and passed it last year on his first entry journey. The PNPT, I think, is slightly more advanced. So from my non-technical viewpoint, I think EJPT is the precursor rather than the follow-up. But you might want to Google that and not take my word for it.
Yeah, I think honestly, I think the eCouncil path is actually a really good beginner path for cybersecurity. But I think ultimately some of the best cyber pen testing and red team certs is the offensive security OSCP path. So your OSCP on up to all through to your OSEE. To me, those are the premium certifications. They're practical, they're hands-on. But I would basically say, eCouncil is good bang for your buck, then OSCP as well, and then you can somewhere in there. It's always good to even if you don't get your CISSP, it's good to at least study for your CISSP specifically for the cybersecurity management, the broad spectrum. And then when you can afford it, you can go in to some of the SANS certs. But I'm going to tell you right now, like, I'm not a fan of SANS because while their instructors are great and their quality is great, they're overpriced for the individual, in my opinion. All right, we have SAN on Jerry's side. Looks like they're about to start. In my opinion, SANS is targeting the corporate market, those people that can, those people that have corporations to sponsor their training. If you're an individual and you can't afford SANS, then go the EC Council and offensive security or the OSCP route. Those are my opinions.
I think just, have you got time for a quick comment, or do we need to jump into the stream, Clint? Because I know Jerry's
I think we're still waiting. I think we're about ready to go.
Okay, I'll leave the comment. It was about personal experience of OSCP, but if anyone wants to pick that up, I took it too early, so I think I agree with everything Clint says on that. But for me, you've got to get your knowledge up there first before you try and attempt something like that. If anyone wants to chat, connect with me on LinkedIn. Happy to share experiences, and I'll be quiet now. Oh, you're drinking your coffee. Look, we're out of coffee, so I've got traditional British tea.
All right, so it looks like we're ready to go. Jerry's okay. I think. All right, so. Okay, Brandon. Let's see real quick.
Right. Morning, Tess. By the way, anyone else who's just jumped in while we're waiting for this to get started, if you have got any questions at any point through the event, no such thing as a stupid question. This is all about learning and engaging. So please do drop those questions in. To make my life easier, I haven't got my glasses on either. If you could put a Q in front of it, then it will help me identify it much easier. Thank you very much. Have we got any updates from there, Clint?
Hold on real quick. I'm trying to get these
Kerry,
guys going.
Thanks, Kerry. I noticed that Aaron Lax is in the audience as well. Hi, Aaron. Nice to meet you. Nick Percal, nice to see you. Hope you're keeping well. We're well overdue a catch up. We must arrange one of those soon. James, nice to see you. What's this? PMPT versus EJPT. Meh. Agreed. OSCP is better and far more accepted. Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt in that. I mean, all the recruiters I've spoken to over the past 18 months, it's been the holy grail. And I know my day job as the global head of business innovation for Brandfit Technology Labs, all of their testers, I think all 50 or approaching 50 of them have got OSCP. So it is the golden standard without a doubt. Yeah, definitely, Nick. I'll send you a Calendly link afterwards. I've got so much to tell you, lots of change. And yeah, James, Sands is too expensive. I completely agree with what Clint said there earlier. Some amazing material, like really, really good material, but extortionately expensive. And again, perhaps aimed at the corporate market rather than the individuals. How's it going, Clint?
There's miscommunication on the back end on who's supposed to be hosting the game.
Who is hosting the game?
We don't know.
So Alex, why did Simon's video feed start tripping and go psychedelic? I'll tell you about my misspent youth another time when we're not online, Alex. But there's a YouTube video from me at the psychedelic rave at age 16 on YouTube. I'll drop you the link later afterwards, then that might make sense. Was it my? Oh, maybe it was my reception. We're having some serious heat.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
We're having some serious heat here in the UK at the moment, and our infrastructure grinds to a halt, which includes trains, roads, and clearly internet.
All right, I'm going to hear you talk. I need to go off screen real quick. Apparently, and let me tell you, folks, this is why not setting up way ahead of time and being prepared is a problem. And I'm just going to say one of these participants waited until this morning to get everything set up.
Yeah, so we'll find out who later. We'll do the Inquisition. All right, well, it's just me. I haven't really got any jokes or a repertoire to go through of anyone. So if anyone's got any
questions, wait here, and you know, now we're back. So
I was saved by the bell. Look at that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and let's do this. Oh, all right. There we go. I covered up. Hey, look at this. See, we're covering up. If I do it this way, then it's just you out there, and I'm on top of him. I don't like that. I don't like it. That scares me. Yeah, you're out of it. You're out of the. All right, so it looks like basically, long story short, is Brandon is deciding which to choose. I didn't see which environment he chose. Anyway, we don't want to look at Brandon right now. We want to put you down there. Look at it. Oh, look at you on top. All right. It looks like he chose either I think he either chose the pipeline company or the large oil and gas facility. And it appears, let's see when he goes in there. He's going to be the first one. So he's taking his turn first, and he's not even showing us. He's just immediately going to actions. He installed a firewall. We can't really see his timer. You know what? I need to move real quick. Okay, hold on. So he's at the large oil and gas facility. They're having in this game, we have looks like we have 60 seconds per turn, I believe, and I don't see how many. Hold on real quick. Let me switch the overlay so we can actually see this. Hold on. I don't know how to switch. There it is. It was hidden from me. It was hidden from my view. Let's do this one. So we're going to cover you up a little bit. Now we can see he has 11 seconds left. So we're doing 60 turns, 60 seconds per turn, I believe. I think they might have got the settings mucked up. Been talking to too many English folks. I've been, been saying mucked up, All right. All right. So now it's Jerry's turn. So now that we get started, Jerry's he's going to go directly for his open source intelligence, or his OSINT, as they say, because you can't get anything done for the most part in the beginning of the game except for your OSINT and your research. Research is very important in this game because researching things such as social engineering skills and researching the different technologies and vulnerabilities, it improves your chances as the red team at exploiting vulnerabilities as you go on. It's just like real life. You have to kind of like talking about certifications, right? Even though certifications don't make you smarter, but the training does. And so it looks like he's going.
For me, Clint, it reaffirms everything we were talking about earlier, where it's the research and the learning that's important to gain the understanding before you can do anything at all. And it's no different to jumping in to sit in the OSCP too early. In this game, what Jerry's doing is trying to do as much research and upskill before he starts doing anything. Is that right, Clint?
Absolutely. So he's doing his research. So OSINT, he's doing his research on the target. Oh, he switched his turn. Hold on.
Quick shout out to Robert Gonda as well. Thanks for the message. Good to see you in here. Thanks for tuning in. Means a lot. What's this in the chat?
All right. So
there is that.
Oh yeah. Hey, James. Well, yeah, I'm glad you joined us. Well, I don't think we've seen you on one of our streams before. James is an old friend of mine in the industry, and I guess personally, but I'll let him decide on that one. I don't want to.
I feel you should elaborate in the chat a bit, James, and clarify this.
Yeah, I don't want to defame him by claiming. Wait, what's going on here? Okay, there we go. It's still blue turn. All right, so
yeah,
what's that?
This is Brandon. This is his go.
Yeah, this is Brandon. He just passed his turn. All right, and so now that it's going to be a little bit slow going during the first few turns, it's kind of like chess. Everyone is getting their first move set up, right? Everyone's getting their this very first setup like you do in chess. You get all your pieces positioned and then you go. But I mean, just like chess, you'll see. I mean, he's moving so fast. I didn't see him switch his turn already. All right, just like chess, the strategy can change as the game goes because you have two people playing each other. There's multiple strategies, multiple entry points, multiple defenses. And so you'll see that happen throughout the game, switching strategies. So let's kind of get an idea right now. I didn't see I didn't see Brandon's initial setup and what he's doing, but he's probably going with policies and procedures. Looks like he's going to be installing security monitoring to start with. It looks like he's already got a SIM installed. You can see, over there, he's already installed his SIM.
I mean, if I could just jump in, one thing we haven't explained to anyone who hasn't watched it before is it's very much like real life in that you have limited resources per turn as well. So when it comes to looking at the risks when you're on the blue team, for example, you've only got certain resources that you can use. So you then have to look at the risks that you've got and then assess which of those or prioritize those risks as to which ones you're going to do first. And I think that leads in, Clint, to what you were saying about the strategy potentially changing depending on the red team's attack vectors, etc.
Yeah, and let me point something out here. Jerry is really beefing up his human social engineering research, so he's upskilling himself in human social engineering, which means he's planning for an on-site attack. He's researching physical security. He's really ramping up for an on-site attack, and I think that that's a good strategy against Brandon, who is mostly a GRC person who's going to focus on the cyber, and he's probably going to forget a lot about the physical stuff. All right, looks like he's passed his turn.
It's a good question. And Alex Goodwin dropped in there, asked the question, has Brandon done any physical security bits yet? I'm not sure if he has. And again,
well, we're looking right now. We see he's segmented his network. He's got his gateway firewall implemented.
Inventory.
He's installed his SIM. So he's working on firewall, network segmentation, and security monitoring. He did no, he's got no, that's going to hurt him right there. He's got no video surveillance, no physical security, and it looks like Jerry is ramping up for a physical
again this goes back to the game and the fact that you've got different facilities that you can attack. And I think, what are we on this one, Clint? This is
what's that?
What facility is this?
This is the large oil and gas facility.
Oil and gas. Okay, so again, some learning points there as to what parts you'd perhaps consider first when looking to defend that. And Alex's comment about the physical security, you'd think at an oil and gas plant, knowing the ones that you
well, and he's passed his turn. We'll talk about that in a bit. By the way, James did say we are indeed friends. Well, thank you for that. I'm glad to see that you mutually consider us friends and not just work colleagues. You know what? My week's going to be better now.
Well, at least in public, anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, James.
Next time I see him, and he's in Houston too, by the way. I'm sorry, I just doxed you. But yeah, that is your LinkedIn profile, so I don't guess it matters. But yeah, my operational security is terrible. So, all right. So what we've seen.
What's Jerry up to?
All right, so Jerry has gotten a few hosts identified through his host scan. He scanned from the internet, got his host scan, and now, as you can see, he's going to be looking to select a target to do some port scanning to gain further information about those targets. Because all he sees right now is the IP addresses and the host. He doesn't exactly know what they are. He's going to need to gain further information to really see what he's going to target next. And that's going to be a combination of port scanning, service scanning, and all these sorts of things.
Let's talk about, let's stick on the physical security for a bit. Let's talk
about, well, he's about to switch his turn. Let's talk about that. Yeah. So from the physical perspective, he needs to be doing things like installing physical two-factor authentication. So that's the keypads. First of all, he needs to install electronic security. So now you'll have keypads involved. You can see there he's already segmented his network and put his firewalls in place. So that's good. But now he needs to focus on, he's got his basic cyber blocking and tackling. He's starting to work on his threat monitoring. But physically, which a lot of people forget about, when we were doing red teaming, we get 100% success rate on gaining access to systems when we use physical security, because everybody forgets about that. So this is things like putting in electronic security, like your keypads, instead of just locked doors, two-factor physical two-factor authentication, which is, a proximity card, or a keypad, or I guess most electronic security nowadays is not keypad. It's just proximity cards. You need to have both. You need to have a proximity card as well as a thumb, two-factor, a thumb biosecurity, or a keypad plus your prox card, because prox cards can be cloned, which you can do in this simulation here. So ultimately,
some of the bio cards though have what they call two-factor authentication, but one of the factors is just pressing down a button on the top.
Yeah, exactly.
Without a thumbprint. So
well, it could be, your thumbprint is saved on file and on that card. Yeah. And so, and there's ways around that too. There's great videos using like gummy bears and things like that to beat biosecurity, two-factor authentication. So that's really cool. But so Jerry, if we could look here, he's still, so what I can tell you right now, one thing Jerry likes to do is he likes to set up a two-pronged approach. So he plans for physical security, but and there you go. See, he's researching more physical security. He plans for physical security, but he'll also like to set up a cyber attack as either a decoy or as a secondary attack vector. And so ultimately, I think that if you're going for a physical attack, you need to do it early in game if you expect someone to implement physical security. As we can see here, it doesn't look like, okay, so he's implementing USB security, which means if Jerry tries to do malicious USB drops on site, he'll be protected against that, at least on the host that he deploys it on, because you have to deploy it for every host. However, he's got no physical security, so Jerry doesn't really have to be in a rush here to get physically on site. Oh, he does have video surveillance installed now. So he is starting to do a little more focus on the physical. That video surveillance is going to make it really difficult for Jerry to stay on site for prolonged periods of time unless he really increases that human social engineering skill. Human social engineering skills in the simulation counteracts a little bit of the video surveillance, because what that affords you to do, if you kind of think about it from a illustrative perspective, he's better at mimicking the local employees. He's better, especially in a large facility. He's better at maybe looking like a contractor. He knows how to social engineer his way in. So just seeing someone there, like the video surveillance affords you, doesn't necessarily get you anything. See, he's got that human social engineering skill really beefed up. He's got the physical security really beefed up. He's planning on a physical run, but he needs to get it done And like I said, this human social engineering skill will ease the counter of that video surveillance a little bit. I'm curious to see what happens when he actually starts making an attack. He's not really focusing too much on this cyber each turn because he's really focusing on research. So I think that we're going to see him and move into a physical run pretty
Well,
soon.
let's see him get arrested or make some progress shortly, you think?
Yeah. And so Brandon, on the other hand, over here, what's he doing? What's he up to? He's thinking, and we can't hear his feed, so all we can do. Yeah, so James made a comment that Deviant Olem is one of the best card security and physical security pen testers, and I agree. It's fun to watch Deviant Olem. All right.
Thanks for that, James. I'll note that one down.
So he's getting ready to install some network intrusion detection sensors, or NIDs, or IDS sensors, which is good. So what IDS is going to get you, IDS sensors are going to allow you to see network attacks as they happen in progress. And you need EDS, or endpoint detection, or EDR, endpoint detection response, in order to see that you're compromised. So IDSs don't show you're compromised. They just show you that you are, oh, he's doing a spear phishing attack. But anyway, your IDSs will show you attacks in progress. Your EDR, your endpoint detection, shows you if you've been compromised. You can also detect compromises using threat hunting. In this case, Jerry, yeah, he's doing that two-pronged approach. So I think he messed up. So he's doing human social engineering combined with the research. Oh, he switched. And for a physical attack. I think he might have mistaken human social engineering to help with spear phishing, because he also looked like he was launching a spear phishing attack. Human social engineering does not help with a spear phishing attack here. Human social engineering is only for on-site, face-to-face interaction. He needs electronic social engineering upskilling to help his spear phishing.
And quickly, Alex, I'll just jump in saying, doesn't Jerry need to get a move on and jump the fence before he wipes out and or runs afoul of DI Linstead? We've got the stun gun sitting here waiting. If he jumps over that fence, Alex, we're going to have him. Don't worry.
Hold on real quick.
I think David's made a good point about disliking NIDs this early, and that social engineering is wide open and a bigger problem. I'd agree with that at this stage, although it might be too early to tell. Whose go is it now, Clint?
Looks like it is, yeah, so it is Jerry's turn. So Jerry looks like he had a successful social engineering attack, and looks like, I don't know what, it's a user workstation. So he's got a foothold on a user workstation. What he should do from there, if he's not going to make a physical run, he's going to pivot. He's going to do a host scan. Oh, is he going to install ransomware? No, he's going to do a host scan. So there's two different win conditions for the red team. One is the profit and loss, or the P&L victory, where you plummet their production into the red zone by things like ransomware attacks, malware attacks, or you can, in this case, we're in an industrial control system scenario to where he can go and destroy the industrial control system. So looks like he chose to host scan that particular host, and which is going to, the host he has control of is going to be a pivot. As he does a host scan, it's going to show him other devices that he has access to. All right, so now we're back at Brandon's turn.
Actually, quick shout there. Kerry, can you do me a favor if you're in the stream? Someone's asked about watching the other streams. Would you do me a favor and get the links for the other YouTube streams and drop them in the chat for me? Because I haven't got access to the chat, so I can't actually respond to that. Would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, and I can grab them. So yeah, so I'm gonna pop it. And I can't, not everybody, I don't know if the people on LinkedIn can see, but I'll pop it in the chat here. So this is going to be the blue team chat. You want to go blue team stream,
Brilliant.
and this is going to be the red team stream. And actually, looks like he passed turns.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thanks, Clint.
He passed turns here. Okay, we missed. Yeah. So again, I'm a one-man control center operation here, so I get whenever I have to go and paste links, I get distracted. I'll try if somebody from LinkedIn can't see those and they want to see those. I will try to post them in the captions. But I want y'all to stay here. I want y'all to stay here on our stream.
I'll tell you what. Let me. I'll do that. I'll jump on LinkedIn now, and I'll drop the LinkedIn ones.
Okay.
Drop the links.
Well, and we have different LinkedIn streams. Like we have so many people coming from different areas. I'm going to try to post it on our captions here in a minute, but we're losing ground on following what people are doing. So I'm going to kind of ignore the other streams chat. Besides, I want people to stay here on our stream. I don't want you to leave us.
Is there something wrong with our stream? I've got to ask.
Yeah.
Really. Yeah. Alex made a good point. If that ransomware attempt works, it should distract Brandon really well. While
and I totally missed it. Did he drop the ransomware on that box? I think I didn't see it.
I didn't see either. Yeah, no worries, Kerry. In the heat you're in, 106 degrees, I'm not surprised you're slow. Appreciate the effort.
All right. Yeah, sorry folks. If you want to see the other streams, we're unable to I'm unable to post those for everybody. I posted them in the chat, which you'll see on the link to the YouTube, but I'm unable to post it for everybody to see right now. All right.
Let's have a look.
You're just gonna have to stay here and put up with us. Sorry.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, man. He's got a lot of. If you look there, he had a lot of hosts, and that was a result of pivoting, gaining access from one host and pivoting. He's still got that one host. It looks like he did not install ransomware. I don't know if that was because he was unsuccessful. Now, what'll happen is sometimes if there is updated antivirus and malware protection on a box, it's going to be difficult to get malware or ransomware installed sometimes. And I'm not sure what the case is here.
Now, going back to, you see all the different assets he's discovered there. I don't know if we've seen any jump in and out, but another thing that I love about this game is obviously remote workers. Remote workers assets do drop in and out as and when they connect to the network, and this game reflects that really well, Clint, doesn't it?
Yeah, and that's a big thing about this simulation is you will see those remote users, those laptops, go in and out, and I guess Jerry has some chat communication going there, but yeah, you'll see those remote users log in and log out and they'll disappear. That's because you'll see them disappear from the game screen because they're logging in and logging out. By the way, we have some chat communication going on here. I didn't notice, but Jerry did change locations. He is no longer remote. He is now at the perimeter of the blue team's facility. So
I think Alex is going to make a run for it.
Yeah, I think he is, and so that means he's either going to drop malicious USBs, and I don't know if he's created any. We'll have to see whenever it's his term. He's either going to drop malicious USBs at the perimeter, or he's going to try to get into the plant. So you can see up there. He does not have any malicious USBs created. So it looks to me like he's going to make a run into the plant and try to find HMIs, human machine interfaces. So he's got some covert attacks prepared here, but he's changing location. He's going to go into
David's just mentioned that he doesn't think he has got USBs, so it'll be interesting to see.
No, and why is he unable to change locations? He's remote again. Did anyone see? Did he get arrested or get kicked out? I thought he was at the perimeter. He must have either changed locations back or he got removed as a loiterer. I totally missed that.
Alex said that's not a covert attack. That's IDS evasion prepped.
Yeah, I mean You're right. Specifically, the action is not covert attack; it's IDS evasion. But for our viewers, it's a covert attack. It's a stealth. It's stealth planning. Okay. So yeah, I'm not sure if he actually got removed as a loiterer. So if you hang around the perimeter too much, then If somebody notices you're there, you can get okay. So I guess he did. David said that he did get kicked out. So that is, I'm curious to see what Jerry's going to do with that. However, so Kerry said that he removed himself.
Okay.
I'm not sure. We'll see. What is Brandon up to? So Brandon has got a few IDSs installed. He's got his two-factor authentication. So Brandon has actually been doing work to prevent your social engineering attacks. He's been getting he's got his two-factor authentication. I don't know if he has security awareness training or done or not. We'll look and see.
I didn't see that. I see a great comment from James saying that actually using a simple packet can get around a lot. EDR less so, but there are some very published things about finding certificates lying around,
Yep.
then signing your malware and getting it to execute. It's a really good point, and again, a great learning outcome from watching this today. Well, while we're waiting for the turn, Clint, for those that haven't played it before, they can access the game at ThreatGEN.com. Where else can they access it?
So ThreatGEN.com is the only place you can get the pro version of the game, which gives you the full gamification, the leaderboards, the IR tabletop capabilities, and a lot more. But you can also, if you want to get it individually, you can get it on Steam. Just search for ThreatGEN on Steam. If you're not familiar with the Steam, it's the Steam platform. It's a game. It is a gaming distribution platform, digital gaming distribution platform.
You mentioned the word leaderboard. So, for example, let me use the InfoSec Live community as an example. It would be great if we could have like a weekly competition in the community where some of the members could jump in and have a leaderboard. If people have access to the pro version, is that something we could do then? So we can have our own leaderboard for teams, etc.
Yep. We can definitely talk about that, offline and get you set up and get your community set up. We can do that for anybody. There's a sales moment, but yes, we can do competitions for anyone. Competitions for everybody. You get a competition. You get a competition.
Do you know what? You say sales pitch, but it's also an education piece as well. So we talked a lot about individuals being able to access the game. There must be a huge market for this, Clint, for corporates, for training. Is that an area that you're expanding this into massively?
Say that again. I was reading chat and I was trying to. It looks like we're having some streaming.
Can be boring. I can be boring. I'll try and make it more interesting. No, I think I said, I can't remember what I said now. I was asking about no, it's gone. Middle-aged brain. It's gone.
Okay, well let's pause real quick. And I don't know if it's my stream cutting out or Jerry's, but let's just pause real quick. Pause the side chat because Jerry is on the plant. And so he did get in the perimeter. He changed locations. He's on the plant. And if he doesn't get arrested, then we are able to, he'll be able to probably find, he's going to the data closet. He has a huge missed opportunity here. If he will search for HMIs right now, he has a better chance of getting caught trying to get into the data closet. He needs to search for HMIs. He's making a huge play mistake right here.
It's unlike him. Hey, Splodge, thanks for the shout out. Great to see you in here. Oh, David's just said he was kicked out before. Yeah, okay. Thanks, David.
Yeah, look at the see now, Phil. He's actually promoting our. I need to do that. I need to set it up, and I need to be sure and set up prior to the game to put the other streams in the caption. So I apologize for not doing that because now I feel like an a-hole for
Clint. I'll play devil's advocate here because it's all very well, but you can't click on those. So for me,
a good point.
Dropping them in the chat is a lot easier for people to click on than typing out an address in the address bar.
All right. So here's something that's interesting. I don't believe that Brandon has all of his EDR set up or his host detection set up right now because, look, he doesn't see that he's compromised at all. He's completely in the blind. He does not see. I think one of these over here I didn't see. I think Brandon is struggling a little bit with his turn timer in terms of I think that his turn keeps ending, and I don't think that he's not effectively. Oh, what's going on here?
Oh, well, Jerry says he's going for the kill, so this could be exciting.
I think one of the streams locked up.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I see Brandon there, but his turn timer's not going. This is Jerry's stream, but I think Jerry's stream got, yeah, it's buffering. You see that? So, yeah, I can't see. Uh-oh.
Here we back up now.
What's going on here? Yeah, I can't see what's going on. There we go. I think we had a buffered stream.
Saw that, Alex. He mentioned that Josh pulled a fast one with the turn timer on Jerry a few weeks back. I remember that one. Jerry's dishing it back. Maybe. Yeah. Hey, Jess, great to see you in here.
I think, we're not, hold on. I see what's going on. One of these is not live. Something got messed up. So if you see here, you see it looks like Jerry's turn, and his turn is counting down, and he's doing stuff. We click over here. It's also Brandon's turn. So I'm not sure.
The time is counting down, though, isn't it? Oh, it was.
Yeah, it's the buffering. I think we got screwed with the buffering. Oop, hold on. Yeah, we're kind of screwed with the buffering. So that's just going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye out for, because I'm trying to. Okay, so let's turn 14. Get off your screen, Brandon. Yeah, I can't. Okay, so he's at turn 15. He's still on turn 14. So I'm going to pause him just a little bit until I see Jerry pass his turn, but we're not going to be completely live now. Oh, now I just pause. Okay, there we go. Okay, perfect.
Brilliant.
Oh, I got to pause him a little more. As soon as I see Jerry's got his turn passed to him, I'm going to unpause Brandon, and then we should be relatively synced up. Boy, there was quite a few seconds there that we got.
He looks quite relaxed. Doesn't look stressed today, Clint.
Yep.
What's that?
I don't know, but so we got to wait for his turn to show that it's been passed. This is we're in a kind of holding pattern here.
Alex has asked you a really good question, Clint. You might want to have a look at that.
I can't right now. Hold on.
He said, "I'll read it out to you when you've finished doing your thing." How thick is the lessons learned from live streaming book so far? It's pretty fat my end, Alex. I can tell you that for nothing. I think the biggest problem I've had is an unstable internet connection, which is kind of the worst.
All right, there we go. All right, so now it looks like we're synced back up.
So it looked like
sorry. All right, so he could not get into the control system, into the plant control room. He's going to get arrested. Oh, he did. He got arrested. Look at that. See, I knew it.
Yeah.
He got arrested. And all right. So that was the big play mistake. That was where I knew it. Trying to go further in. He should have just searched for HMIs right there while he was on the plant site.
He's in jail now. How long does let's talk about how that works. So he's now been caught on the perimeter. How does that work?
So and I always forget this, but I think now he's going to lose 3 resources for 3 turns, I believe it is. Okay. So let's see what he's looking for. So he's going to switch strategies right now. He's going to focus on his cyber attack right now.
The best comment from Bob there. Jerry should get caught. He spends too much time explaining why he's walking down the hallway. Is that where he went wrong?
Nice. So, all right. This is the first time we've ever actually had a stream buffering issue where they got out of sync.
What it says in the chat from Joshua is that Jerry keeps buffering on his computer too. So it might be that his stream...
Oh, so it's Jerry's issue.
Yeah, let's blame Jerry. It's better.
Yeah, I mean, look, he got arrested. He's causing buffering issues.
Yeah, it's not a good day, is it?
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to dock his pay.
I think you should, yeah. And if you've sent him a baseball cap, I'll have his, because as you can see, and you keep mentioning the fact I'm bald now. I do really need a hat like yours, Clint.
I didn't mention you were bald. I just said that you have less hair, and I said you look like Fred Durst now.
You did mention that. Yeah. Have you seen him recently? Because I did Google that.
Yeah, you look more like him now than he used to.
Yeah. I've just got to grow the grey beard and I'm in.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So he now knows that Jerry was apprehended. And so now he was tipped off. He now knows that Jerry went for a physical attack. So he's probably going to start trying to shore up his physical attack defenses a little more. One thing that Brandon has not done is vulnerability assessments. He's not doing any sort of vulnerability identification and mitigation. And he's also not looking in he doesn't know that he still is not looking in the right areas with his EDR to know that he's compromised.
I don't know. Who's trolling you, David? I noticed that someone's paused and is it trolling you? Have you been making comments on Jerry's stream and making him sad?
Let's see. Yep. He's now he's starting to install his EDR. He's going to be focused on high priority targets. A lot of people focus on IDS, on their IT systems, their servers. And if you're not familiar with industrial control systems, people often, wait, this isn't red versus blue. I don't see any Halo gameplay occurring. Referring to the Halo red versus blue. Obviously this is red team. This is red team versus blue team in the context of cybersecurity, folks. Anyway, a lot of people forget about the industrial control systems. People often make the mistake of thinking that your IT systems, like your Active Directory servers and things like that, have a lot of relevancy to your overall security and industrial control systems, and it's not always the case.
No.
So you have to think about, and that goes back to risk assessment, and that, what are your critical assets in the context of this simulation? In this simulation, it's industrial control systems. So honestly, other than Active Directory servers and email servers giving you a little bit of enhanced credential, an enhanced ability to exploit some things that are user-based, it doesn't have a lot of relevancy in this context.
Alex has asked another question. Is Brandon's terminal server still an existential risk?
That's a good question. So, his terminal server is right here. And this terminal server in this particular map has an RDP connection, a remote desktop connection to the engineering workstation. The engineering workstation is probably the keys to the kingdom in this map, in that it can see and control the SCADA process control system. So this there's an HMI here. The terminal server has access to an engineering workstation, which is right here. And this one of these two has access to the SCADA PLCs over here. These are the SCADA PLCs. These are the DCS PLCs.
Okay. Quick shout out to William Nisler. Thanks for jumping in, and again, thanks for the shout out. Great to catch up with you yesterday. I think Level Effect actually should probably have a chat with Clint about maybe coming on here and giving you a game. We've got some ex-NSA guys watching, Clint, who might be interested in giving you a game on this.
Did you say ex-NSA guys?
Yeah.
Well, they're probably already in they're probably already in the system. They should be able to be, they probably already have Trojans in the code. Oh, look at this. Okay, so he's got Jerry's buffering again. It's really a problem with Jerry buffering, because, and I'm gonna have to pause when
James has put it really well in one succinct sentence. What are your crown jewels? And I think what a great question to ask any business.
Yeah. So in this map, industrial control systems, your crown jewels are everything down here. So your PLCs, your process, all this stuff, everything down here. So if you're not protecting this stuff down here, then you're not doing your job. And this is the stuff that accesses the stuff down here. This stuff over here has little relevance. This is your servers, your Active Directory servers, things like that. This has little relevance. Now, but because he's got a system knocked out with ransomware, this production meter will start to go down. Now, this is a low priority system. This has very low relevance on your overall production. So that's not going to do it. But if Jerry starts popping. Jerry's buffering way too much. If Jerry stops, I gotta pause him some more. All right. If Jerry, wait, what happened here? Okay. If Jerry starts popping more hosts, and especially higher quality, higher priority hosts, then what's going to end up happening is that production meter is going to go down faster, because every system on the network has some relevancy to the overall production of the blue team. And so if he starts ransom denying or ransomwaring, if that's a word, higher value targets, then you will start to see that production meter go down. And so
it's
okay,
another good
he
comment.
is, hold on real quick, I gotta pause him. Oh, he just did that. Oh, I'm an idiot. Oh, wait, no, is he buffering? Come on, Jerry. Jerry is just, his stream is really struggling and buffering, and it's causing delays and the synchronization of these two accounts that I'm watching.
Well, look, what we're having issues with that. Let's bring in another comment from James, because I think, again, back to the learning outcomes from this. Do you want to read the last comment from him, Clint? Because I think it's a good one.
CJA is a huge technical debt that most OT systems still carry. What is CJA? I'm not familiar with that acronym. Still carry and don't know how to overcome, so they can get to HCE, high consequence events, which again, that is a that I can't comment on that right now. That's too in-depth and too complex for me to comment. Now, James, feel free to explain yourself in the comments, but that is a discussion that we really don't have time to delve into too deep here.
Well, I'm glad I'm not the only one who couldn't answer it.
Yeah, I need to be. That's the problem with these streams, right? It's like, this isn't a presentation. It's a live stream on the competition. So I really need to be focusing on commentating and giving narrative for the users, what each of our competitors are doing, and I can't dive too deep into side conversations.
Maybe we should throw up another stream, maybe a joint ThreatGEN and InfoSec live one, where we don't host a game and we actually talk about the learning outcomes of the platform rather than playing the game.
Yeah, and that would be great. Yeah, that'd be great. You guys, it is really difficult to have too deep of educational discussions on the side, and also talk to the gameplay. This, and honestly, to be quite honest, this stream is not meant for a lot of deep educational discussion. This stream is meant to provide narrative on what the competitors are doing, and then learning is a side objective to this. You know, you can learn through watching this, but it's hard to dive too deep into discussions.
Although I have just learned, thank you for the clarification, James, on the crown jewel assessment, the CJA acronym there. Thank you for that.
Yeah, Jerry's stream is really making it very difficult to keep these two synced up.
I think, again, if what Clint and I were talking about hosting another stream without a game playing, but talking about some of the learning outcomes that you can benefit from while playing this, drop it in the comments if you're interested, and we'll spin one up over the next few weeks and take a bit of a deep dive into how the platform works and how it makes its decisions as well, because I'd be really interested in that, Clint.
Okay, I think now they're relatively in sync right now. Okay, so now we see Jerry just got arrested again. Because of this buffering issue and all the side conversation, I've completely missed my narrative here on Jerry was on site and he got arrested. Oh, I think that's the problem. Jerry on the back end said he's going to plug in. Either he's running off of a laptop, or he's on a Wi-Fi connection and not a wired connection. So I think that's probably what's going on. All right. So in the meantime, Brandon over here is he knows he's infected with ransomware. He is in IR mode, which means he can do what he needs to do to start taking care of things. If he's smart, I think the smartest thing to do in this case is just replace this replace this asset. All right, so Bob asked, does that blue team control the cameras? I'm not sure what he's asking.
I'm not sure. Alex said NIDs help rumble rogue devices, question mark as well. Not sure what he means by that. Not sure what you mean, Alex. Sorry.
All right. Ooh, he just passed his turn. Okay. Trying to keep these relatively in sync with Jerry's buffering. All right. Okay. Here's what, look at this. This is interesting. So this threat intelligence meter is now at 28%. So what that means is when the blue team detects compromises in any form or fashion, and or when the blue team gets arrested, that increases threat intelligence information. If this threat intelligence meter gets all the way to 100%, the blue team will win a threat intelligence victory. And so part of that is one thing we saw Brandon just do, which was gather forensics evidence. So that helps to really increase that. So now he sees that he just got arrested again. Getting arrested contributes to that threat intelligence score. Detecting attacks and compromises contributes to the threat intelligence score. Gathering forensics evidence really helps increase the threat intelligence score. Oh, it looks like Jerry's going to plug in. So Jerry passed his turn. Looks like he's going to plug in, whatever that means. We were watching the Jerry Unplugged episode, apparently. So what's Brandon? Oh, Brandon already passed his turn. So, all right, Jerry's back. Hopefully he's no longer unplugged. So notice Jerry has lost all of his footholds. I'm guessing that Brandon has detected those, gathered forensics, cleaned them. And Jerry is probably unaware that he's at 28% on the, yep, he's got his network cable. You can't see it. Here, let me show you real quick. Jerry's holding his network cable. He's telling everybody most likely, I'm about to plug in because my Wi-Fi sucks. We've been telling him on the back channel his Wi-Fi sucks. He needs to plug in. So, all right, what's he doing here?
I think we just saw some vulnerabilities identified for one of the assets, but then I missed it from there.
All right, so yeah, he's looking for more vulnerabilities. He doesn't have a lot of stuff going on here. Look at this. He only has like 2 devices that he has control of, that he doesn't have control of. He has 2 devices that he's port scanned. He hasn't done anything further. He was really working on, apparently, what's going on here? He isn't. Oh, there it is. Okay, now Jerry's a little behind, I think.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll just cover off a comment. I think it's DJ BSEC. It says, "Hey ThreatGEN, quick question: have you guys thought about pushing these streams out to Twitch?" Yes, is the answer,
yeah.
And we talk about
we
it.
Just talked about that earlier.
We're gonna get that done through Restream for the next one. So yes, thank you.
All right, Jerry's plugged in now apparently, and he already passed his turn. So Jerry, all right. So Jerry's going for more cyber attacks. Look, these are the vulnerabilities you can see. So he's got a lot of vulnerabilities, and some of those vulnerabilities are 0-day vulnerabilities. The chances that Brandon, right now, the chances that Brandon can fix 0-day vulnerabilities is relatively impossible. He just now, see all these yellow shields? That means he just now finished a vulnerability assessment. I don't know if I didn't see if he did a vulnerability assessment or vulnerability mapping, but neither one of those can find 0-day vulnerabilities. Now, if he did a penetration test, he can find 0-day vulnerabilities. If he starts fixing look at this, default credentials enabled. I mean, it's been, he waited so long to start doing a vulnerability assessment. He got tons. It looks like Jerry can't plug in because he's on his laptop.
Yeah, you need
the new laptops that he needs we need to get him a dongle. The new laptop he has a Dell XPS 15, and that laptop doesn't have a built-in network connection. He has to have, I believe he has to have a special USB-C dongle for wired Ethernet.
I think
he's looking for one.
I'm the same with my MacBook Pro. I've got mine's wireless at the moment, is what I'm on, which is probably why I've had some issues with my stream. What's
Yeah,
what's
I'm trying to
saying?
figure out right now.
Having
Okay, you're
a dongle. How old is that? Worst thing is Bob. I knew what he meant. I remember having a dongle for work, or a couple of dongles for work, actually, for internet and an old RSA fob back in the 90s.
all right. So he recompromised that firewall. We're at turn 25. Jerry really needs to pick up the activity. I mean, I meant for everybody to have a 50. This was supposed to go to 50 turns, and somebody configured it to 60 by accident. But Jerry is really slow going in the network side of things. And in this simulation, just like in real life, the longer you take to get anything going, the harder it gets for the red team. As you can imagine, the more mature the blue team's cybersecurity program and posture gets, the harder it gets for the red team to actually pull off a win. So that's the problem here.
When you've got schoolboy errors with things like cable management, which I think might be the problem we've got today.
That's exactly it. He broke his own rules. We know that we have a strict rule of don't do these streams on a Wi-Fi connection, and he broke his own rule. And I don't know. I guess I don't know why he's not on a desktop. I don't know why he switched over to running just on the. And it's completely fine. Hey, that's for security practices. Use your company equipment for company activities. But for some reason, he's on his laptop on a Wi-Fi connection for the stream. That's a rookie fail.
So can we call this yet, do you think? I mean,
I think Jerry's going to lose. Unless Jerry gets a lucky strike somewhere, and unless Jerry, let's wait for his turn to turn, because he's so buffered. All right, I think he's waited too long to get moving on the network side. He's had too many failed attempts on the physical side.
Apparently he's still waiting for his docking station, Clint.
Well, I don't even know if we've ordered him one or he ordered one. I don't know if that's a true statement or not. In other words, I don't know if Kerry's joking or if Jerry's joking.
DJ B6 just said he's getting one tomorrow, which has an Ethernet cable, but not.
All right. So Jerry, let's go back to what we're saying here. Jerry is no longer going on physical. He's making a mad dash on the cyber side now. And he may be a little too late, I think. I think that did he pass his turn? Yes. Yeah. So I think that he just needs to make some beeline dashes to the physical side and try to search for HMIs. I don't know. We'll see if he gets some lucky strikes. But the problem is, at this point, he's going to have to be really stealthy. If he's going to go the network route, I don't know if his plan is to do a P&L or try to move all the way through the segmented network to get to the ICS. But if he's going to go the P&L route, in other words, profit and loss victory, plummet the production meter, he needs to focus on stealth, because Brandon is already at 28% on his threat intelligence. Yeah. So Jerry's going to lose a threat intelligence victory if he's not careful, or he's going to lose to a blue team threat intelligence.
I think there's a couple of really good relevant comments in the chat. David said that social engineering is still a big threat, and maybe if you focused on that with some research electronic social engineering while repeatedly spear phishing is a good point, because I think he's left it too late to try and hit the network. And Alex's point, will Jerry live this one down anytime soon? Absolutely not.
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Am I looking forward to the debrief at the end when that happens?
Oh, maybe. We're gonna hammer him.
Oh dear. Yeah, and like Alex said, fighting your way through a matured setup and network without persistence is a long shot at best. Agreed.
Yeah, I keep having to pause I don't even know how far live stream we are now. I keep having to pause Brandon's display or Brandon's stream because Jerry keeps buffering over and over and over again. Yeah, I mean, we're probably a good 2.5 minutes behind them now at this point.
Yeah.
We're almost a full 3 minutes behind the actual live stream. So yeah, and counting. I mean, you just keep buffering. So let me just let them know real quick.
You can't let him use this as an excuse, though, Clint. So while we're waiting, if anyone's got any questions you want to drop in the chat, if they're aimed at me, please make them non-technical. And if they're aimed at Clint, please don't aim them because he's currently trying to do some stuff with the stream. But hopefully we're enjoying what we're watching so far. The lagging's causing a bit of issues, but I think we're still seeing the whole ethos of the game and what's playing out here. Jerry's tried a couple of times to break in through the perimeter. He's been arrested twice. He's now licking his wounds back in his chair, looking at maybe attempting the network side. And I think from the comments in the chat and my own personal perspective, which again isn't that technical, is that he might have left that a bit late. So I think at the moment we're calling this one that maybe it could be another Jerry loss. Let's hope not.
I hope so. I'm really hoping Jerry loses at this point due to his fiasco with the Wi-Fi.
Why does everyone want to take Jerry down so much? As you see that DJ BSEC. Aaron Lax, the game is called ThreatGEN Red versus Blue, and you can access the game on the ThreatGEN site, which is all the W's, threatgen.com. We were talking earlier, if you missed it, about hosting some of these within the InfoSec Live community, Aaron. So I'll jump on a call after I spoke to Clint about that and hopefully get something lined up soon, because I think this could be a great learning experience for all of our members. Perhaps something we could tie into our weekly Meet the Members event, spice it up a little bit. And if we're feeling a bit sad, we could always invite Jerry along and give him a good beating, couldn't we?
Yep. All right, so we got Jerry. Wait till he passes his turn. I got the blue team paused again because of Jerry's buffering. There he goes, more buffering. So just FYI, side chat, because we have a little bit of technical issues going on. And it's kind of distracting me because I'm a one-man production crew here. If I don't notice your chat, if I don't address your questions or whatever, I apologize. Normally, in the past streams, we've been able to do a pretty good job of keeping up with people's questions, keeping up with the side chat, as well as the narrative of the game. In this case, all three is just too hard for me to keep up with right now, keeping up with maintaining the synchronization between the two streams because of Jerry's buffering, side chat, and keeping a narrative. And as you can see right
breaking
now.
News. Breaking news.
What happened?
Jerry's fixed it. He's found a USB-A to Ethernet cable adapter. Thanks, DJ BSEC, and thanks, Kerry, as well. He's now
I thought somebody, like, something good happened in the game, but I guess
I thought that was good.
Yeah, I guess so. So all right, so what's all right. Brandon, what is he doing now? I mean, right now, Brandon isn't having to do too much. Brandon is just coasting through this without too much of a problem, because if Jerry's strategy and some dumb luck, bad luck that is, just hasn't been a threat to Brandon at all. I mean, Brandon barely has noticed that he's been compromised. He had some ransomware issues. He's fixed everything. He's been
chilling.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. He's already got the ransomware issue fixed. He doesn't, if you look over here, so there is a compromise that Brandon hasn't found yet. But, I mean, there's been no threat. I mean, I doubt Brandon's going to be back and want to play anymore because I bet that he just feels there's no challenge. In fact, he might drop out of our tournament now because he just thinks that there's no challenge here. Thanks, Jerry, you and your buffering.
Couple of comments in there. Jess Bishop, did someone say coffee? I'd love one, actually. We've run out. I've only got tea here, and even though I'm English, I'm not much of a fan of it. And DJ BSEC has said, I'll tell you what Brandon is doing, winning. And I think that's a very good point. I think he's coasting.
Yeah, he's coasting. I mean, Jerry's not putting up much of a fight, really, to be honest. You know, I mean, it's really to the point to where I really could, if I wanted to, I could probably just go refill my coffee. I could probably go refill my coffee. Sorry about that. Probably he's got a failed attack there, but I can refill my coffee, go take a pee break, let the dog out, make sure my kids are being behaved, come back, and we'll probably still see Brandon coasting to a comfortable blue team
I
victory.
mean, it's been useful for me. I've got the studio here looks out onto our back garden, and I'm keeping an eye on the children whilst doing this, watching them in the paddling pool, which isn't a health and safety recommendation, by the way, for anyone watching. And yeah, Bob, good point. Jerry needed a real excuse for losing. Let's hope it's not that. But it sounds like his buffering's cleared up, so I don't know if you can realign those streams, Clint, back to both live.
Well, let's see. I'll do my best. Hopefully he's not buffering anymore. But
No,
all right. So he's got. Looks like he just passed his turn. Oh, look! I think we're synced up. He just passed his turn. All right, we're synced up. Yay me! Yay me! All right. So he just detected. Brandon did that an attack occurred. So the red radar that signifies that there was an attack on that asset. It doesn't mean it's compromised yet necessarily, but it does look like there's an attack. If we go over to Jerry's display, notice that he does not have. Oh, he put on some kind of hat. He does not have anything compromised other than the firewall. So even though the attack was detected, it doesn't look like it was successful at this point, as far as we can tell. So I think that and also that attack, by the way, since he detected that attack, it increased. Look at that. It increased the threat intelligence score yet again. It was 28. Now we're at 31. So
let's stick on those two bars at the top, because you've explained one, which is the threat intelligence, but we haven't talked about the other one.
I explained the other one earlier. When we get back over there, because you don't see that for the red team, only the blue team can see the threat intelligence and the profit and loss meters.
Yeah.
So one is the threat intelligence bar, one is the profit and loss meter, which will do the it lets you know how well that company's profit and loss and the production is doing. And if the profit and loss meter gets all the way into the red for 5 consecutive turns, he passed his turn. So if this gets all the way down in the red for 5 consecutive turns, blue team loses a production loss victory. And then if this one gets all the way to 100%, then the blue team wins. The blue team can also win by just outlasting the red team for a total of 60 turns. And then the red team can also win by destroying the production systems. The control systems, that is. So
again, it's back down to different environments having different methods of attack.
Yeah, exactly. And then so just for those that are watching, on the blue team side, so what we do is, this simulation is very detailed but not technical. So you have all of the efficacy of a cybersecurity program, the concepts and the methods, the techniques, and then you have all of the different policies, procedures, and controls you can put in to build and protect your network, build your program, cybersecurity program, protect your network. And on the red team side, you have the same thing. You have everything that you would see in a real life attack. You just don't have to write code. You don't have to exploit anything. It's basically, but you can do social engineering, malware, straight attacks. But it's all point and click. So that's what and it makes it easy to play. It makes it easy to have a game that we can all watch, because you're not sitting here watching somebody write code. It's easy to see what they're doing. So yeah, Jerry is, Jerry's sort of meandering. A lot of 0-day vulnerabilities he can take advantage of, and I'm not sure if Brandon has actually done any penetration testing yet to find 0 days. So if he doesn't fix 0 days, Jerry still has attack vectors.
Has anyone seen in the chat whether Jerry's done that? It'd be good to know, because we've missed that bit. Give us a bit of a heads up.
So still here. I mean, if I mean, he just has to sit back and wait at this point. I don't think Jerry is even really close to getting a P&L victory, and he's not close to getting an ICS victory. So all Brandon has to do is sit back, wait for Jerry to attack, and you just wait for this and just do things to increase this threat intelligence. So David says going after the sim. So going after the sim, you're going to need to follow up play on that, bud. I don't know. I'm not sure what you mean. Is Jerry going after the sim?
I think so. I think that's what he's saying. Yeah.
So what it basically, if Jerry is going and attacking the sim here, what he's going to have to do, or what that's accomplishing, is giving him a little bit of stealth. But if it gets detected, then it's not really going to do him much good. All right, so he's compromised another workstation. He has not compromised. He hasn't even found the sim, as far as I can tell. Oh, there it is. Yeah, he does find the sim. He's not attacking the sim, or either that or it wasn't effective. He has a lot of vulnerabilities discovered on a few devices. A lot of those are remote devices. Not going to do him much good unless he wants to go into the DMZ. He can compromise a remote device to get access to the DMZ as sort of a halfway point to trying to get to the process control networks.
I'm just gonna mute myself for a moment. It's about, I don't know how hot in this room, but I'm just gonna grab a fan. Just got to shout for one. It'll be 2 seconds.
Oh, you don't have any fans, Simon. I don't even know if you got a chance to hear that. That was like a parting insult. If you insult somebody and they don't hear it, you're just being an a-hole.
Of course, I heard it.
Okay. Uh-oh. There we go. Look at this. So Brandon detected that attack that Jerry had before, and just simply by detecting that attack, the threat intelligence meter went up 5 more points.
Yeah. It could start creeping up nicely now. Jess, I am burning. You're absolutely right. Aaron's got a question. So a lot of places have detection of port scans. What would be your suggestion to eliminate the detection and allow for a port scan? It's a good question.
So a lot of places have detection of port scans, which is, yeah. So in game, we don't detect port scans, which that's something that is on the roadmap. So what are your suggestions to eliminate the detection? So there are techniques. There are techniques that will allow you to evade network detection, such as even port scans. Like there's a technique called going low and slow. Whoa, what's going on here? All right. There's a technique called low and slow. So if you understand the methods that detection systems use to detect the port scans, then you can use certain techniques to defend against them. So, for example, specially crafted packets, doing packet obfuscation, going very, very slow below the threshold. So those kind of things. So, all right, what turn are we on? So we're still in Brandon. Brandon's still he's talking, and then I'm not sure what he's choosing, but and I can see him. He's talking to his audience right now about decisions he's making. Looks like he's about to pass his turn. Yep. All right. So now Jerry's back, and so the blue shield means that it's been service enumerated. So he's port scanned it. He's enumerated services. Yellow shield means there's vulnerabilities. A red shield means that there's vulnerabilities that he has significant skill with.
Okay.
So he's
enumerating.
Yeah, and we're just now over halfway, through this. This is definitely going to end up being a long stream. This is going to be a 2-hour stream. I think number one, just slow attack strategies. Number two, the turn limit is at 60 instead of 50.
It's worth mentioning that can be changed. I mean, we did one, didn't we, Clint, at 30, which was a little bit fast paced, wasn't it?
Yep, absolutely. So, I'm kind of at a, I'm at a disadvantage here in that, you know, ironically, I've got meetings that this might actually run over that I can't miss. So we might have a problem coming up here in about 30 minutes if this stream isn't over yet.
Well, I've got 45 until my next one. I can always put mine back. It's not that important. So if you
Yeah,
need me to hang-
we'll just have to sit here and just watch one. We'll have to end up just watching one side, and then if I have
this
to just
this one's buffering now, is it?
no, it doesn't look like
No.
it. All right. Oh, he just passed his turn and was all. All right. I don't know what Jerry's doing. Jerry's got a lot of visibility and he's got a lot of stuff going on and he's doing a lot of things to a lot of things, but it's just
spreading himself a bit thin is what it looks like to me. But I'm not an expert.
He's just gathering it. He's gathering a lot of information on a lot of systems. I think he's looking for, he's looking for a way in. So did somebody say, are we buffering or is somebody else buffering?
I'm not sure. I don't know which number 3 is. Maybe we are number 3. It could
Maybe
be
it's us buffering. Hell, I don't know.
Okay, so what's the meter at? Still the site's gone up, hasn't it? Is it 46?
Yeah, 46. I don't know what he detected. And maybe he did forensics analysis. I don't know, but he's halfway to a threat intelligence victory here.
I don't know if you want to cover the question that Alex has dropped.
You read it out. Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to pay. Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't that sort of intrusion countermeasures, i.e., IDS evasion, rely on blue team not using a model-based detection setup? Catch the bad instead of ignore the good.
Yeah, that's kind of a complex question. Long story short is there's in game. There's a few strategies in that you can just kind of sit back and allow the blue team to attack, and you just keep doing intrusion detection system forensics and things like that, and go for a threat intelligence victory win, which is it's a sound strategy if if the red team is not being stealthy and Jerry is not being very stealthy, so he's going to run himself right into a threat intelligence loss. But
yeah.
You don't have to. And then so what I think what Alex was referring to is there's a strategy that we use when we're playing the game, and it's more gamesmanship than it is proper cybersecurity, which is if you know somebody's going to come in guns a-blazing and they're not going to be very stealthy. I didn't realize he passed his turn. Then you can sort of open the door, let them in, go bull in a China shop, and then let them threat intelligence, themselves out into a loss. And that's what Brandon could do right now. Brandon really could just sit back, let Jerry attack, and then all Brandon has to do is Brandon needs to put EDR on everything and just sit back. And then there's another mechanic. So we no longer have EDR on network devices. You have to do log collection and analysis on those. But basically put your detection on everything. Sit back and just let Jerry's loud attacks manifest.
I think Alex just said, thanks, Clint. That completely covered it. And Jerry's getting fed enough rope again. And I think you're right. The rope, you can see the rope feeding out. There's a couple of questions coming. I'll ask them. It might not be relevant. It might be something for the future. But do you have option to enable behavior-based actions for blue team? And are there honeypots?
We have honeypots on the roadmap. Behavior-based actions, not sure what you mean by that. But we do have honeypots on the roadmap later on.
Can you talk about anything else on the roadmap, Clint? Or you're not allowed to do that? It's your business, though, isn't it?
I could do whatever I want. I do what I want. So yeah, a few things we have coming up on the roadmap is we definitely have some. And see, look at this. He detected an attack, and now we're at 49%.
So again,
so a few things on the roadmap. So we've got some more maps coming up, more network maps, more environments that are not just in industrial control systems. So we have like a financial institution, some we have some other manufacturing but from larger manufacturing, we have electric utility, financial, and a few other environments coming up. And but one big thing that we're doing right now, we're making some huge improvements to the computer AI for single player, and we're completely revamping the AI modeling to where we can have the AI can have different behavior. So right now, and you really can't see it on the back end when you're playing single player, the AI doesn't have tendencies, preferences, or certain behaviors. It basically, it's like playing chess. It has one level, one speed, one skill level, and
I think you've answered the question, Clint. I think that's what the question was earlier about the behavior-based actions. Perhaps
okay,
it was
maybe if they're talking about single player, but
yeah,
ultimately, it has one speed and it goes, and it will basically play the game based off of what's happening in the game. The new
yeah.
AI will be able to have different skill levels. So basically, you can do an easy AI, medium, hard, or impossible AI, master level, and then the different AI behaviors also allows us to have different scenarios. So on our tabletop exercises, we can tell the AI this is a ransomware scenario, and the AI only does ransomware stuff. And we're actually there now. We're releasing that this week. But in terms of the ransomware, I mean the tabletop scenarios.
As I was reading an article on AI last week about some of the biases that have come out in some of the early ones that have been being put together, and I suppose that's quite relevant to the game, isn't it? It's important to have those biases if you're looking to have different scenarios play out.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Real quick, here in a minute, and probably on one of their turns, I'm gonna give you the helm. I'm gonna run off real quick to take care of something, and
Yeah, no
then
worries.
he'll take this game is running so long. Oh, wait, we have Aaron jumped on. Aaron's one of our developers. Actually, he's the lead developer, the architect. He turns my ideas into reality. um
Hey, Larry, thanks for jumping in. Nice to see you here, mate. I haven't seen you for a long time. We need to catch up. Yeah, if you need to jump off, Clint, I'll happily hold the fort and ramble on like I do so very, very well. I might not make a lot of sense, but happy to do that.
yeah this game is based off it's built on Unity, but I don't want everybody telling our secrets. Stop telling our secrets, Alex. Just kidding. We're not open source, but we're an open book as much as we can be. So Jerry is at the perimeter again, and I'm really hoping he kind of makes a beeline like he was supposed to in the beginning to the HMIs, because Jerry should have taken advantage of the fact that Brandon is probably not an ICS expert, doesn't have a lot of exposure to ICS. And if Jerry would have just started off making a beeline at the very beginning, and when he was at the plant, and instead of going to the plant, Jerry, come on, and instead, and he's using physical, okay, social engineering. There you go. Instead of
That's
trying to get into the control room or the wiring closet, wherever he was going, if he would have searched for HMIs right there, he could have won this a long time ago. But he didn't game plan properly according to his competition.
okay. I'm sure he'll have another reason for that when we get him on the debrief at the end. Yeah. See,
So
Bob's made a good point.
yeah,
Jerry's in
but
PRC.
yeah, and by the way, so yeah, sorry, we have two Aarons here. We have Aaron Shabib and Aaron L. Aaron L is asking questions, and Aaron Shabib is answering. It's confusing me.
Thanks.
But
Yeah, Aaron L is Aaron Lax. He's a co-host of mine in the InfoSec Live community. So big shout out to you, Aaron.
okay, yeah, Aaron Shabib's our lead software architect. And so Aaron, by the way, and so I don't want to talk about, Aaron L was asking, I was assuming Python with the ML being especially Python. I don't want to talk about our AI right now. I don't want to, oh, sorry. I don't know how that happened. Oop. We actually do have some of our, some of our red team, blue team AI techniques are about to go through the patent process. So I don't want to talk too much about some of what our
yeah, Aaron says understood. Thanks, Aaron.
yeah, it's just there's some of our techniques that we're using, and then here's the thing, and this may sound like a little bit of salesmanship, but it's true. There's nobody in the world right now in the commercial market that has a red team versus blue team AI. In other words, where you can do a tabletop exercise, or you can play as the red team or the blue team, and the computer opponent plays against you. There's no red team, blue team AI out there in the commercial market. And as such, and we have some really unique ways that we're doing this, and as such, and how we're putting this all together and doing it, as such, we're starting the patent process. So I don't want to talk too much about how we're doing it.
No, plus, Aaron, when I finished up this evening, we'll jump in and we'll have a game. I've got access to the platform. I'll have a game with you later, and we'll dig in a bit deeper and do some exploring. So credential harvesting.
Bob, you know what? I would love to be bought by Microsoft, Bob. That would be awesome,
Yeah, it does seem like the big boys are buying up everyone who's showing a glimmer of promise.
Well, they bought my friends at CyberX, right? My friends over at CyberX, they're an ICS threat monitoring company. They got bought by Microsoft. Okay. Hey, guys, I'll be right back.
Yeah,
I'm just going to keep an eye. Okay, just talk about what's going. Oh, we do have a compromise detected, and we're at 58%. I see where this is going. I'll be right back.
No problem. Okay, everyone. So as you know, Clint's
I can't do that. So
please don't make me big, Clint.
No, I can't do that. I got to figure this out.
No one wants to see that.
Well, wait, really he passed his turn. Hold on. I got to figure out the best way to.
I think while Clint's
I'll just leave my screen on. I'll just let everybody look at my beautiful studio setup.
Let's do that. We'll have a spot the difference in the back. So yeah, everyone, while Clint leaves, as you all know, or some of you know very well, I'm not a technical genius, so I'm looking at this game from what I can learn perspective, and for me, it helps a lot with that. But if you've got any questions that aren't technical, even personal questions, drop them in the chat and give me something to talk about for the next few minutes. Aaron, I'm not just walking away. I'll stick in here. I think Clint needed a toilet break. I think that's actually what it was. But give us your thoughts. So we've got 17 goes left. Jerry looks like he's failing a little bit at the moment. Justin just said Jerry's going to lose to Threat Intelligence. Anyone else got any comments? Does anyone think that Jerry can turn this round and bring it back? Oh, you were, Aaron. Thank you. Personally, I think he's left it too long. I might be wrong. Let's see what happens. It's just rearranging his assets at the moment. I'm not sure if that's helping or whether it's a psychological trick. Bit of service enumeration on that one, on all of them actually. And Kerry, yeah, if you drop questions, I will pick them back up. Although I'm getting old now, so try not to drop too many. I don't want to put them back out. Let's see what's going on. No, Alex, it's a good point. I'm not sure he does. I think he's lost the will with it a little bit today, perhaps as well. David mentions that Jerry's going to lose the pivot before he can use it. No threat intel loss. Aaron, you think it's 100% possible if he's able to get the right attack, but the AI has detected him many times? It has, yeah. I think, is it 2 or 3 times he's been caught now? And yes, Kerry, absolutely. Definitely no heavy questions. Much appreciated. I suppose I should do a little plug, really, seeing as Clint's left me sitting here chatting to you all. So, hey, here he is. I was just going to do a plug for InfoSec Live because you were taking so long.
Go for it. Plug away.
It's a free community for cybersecurity professionals. It was founded by myself 13 months ago. We're now up to just under 3,000 members. Got about a 30% engagement rate, which is massive. And it is actually the only community or social media platform, should I say, designed solely for cybersecurity professionals. It's absolutely free to join. It's more of a social support network for cybersecurity than a technical assistance, which is why we partner up with people like ThreatGEN who can give you the education that you need. Sales pitch over, and anyone who wants to join, it's info-sec.live. Be great to see you there.
The tables have turned.
They have, yeah?
Yep. So anyway, I was looking at something on the back channel. I thought those were a problem. There's not. The tables have turned. Jerry has visibility to at least a set of PLCs, programmable logic controllers, which are, that is the entry point to destroying the control system for that win condition. So he's looking, all he has to do is search for vulnerabilities. And I'm not sure if he has a pivot to those or not right now, though. Not sure which box is giving him access to that, but he at least has visibility. Maybe he's on site there. I'm not sure. Doesn't know. He's remote. All right, let's see. Well, let's see what's going on here.
I'll just answer your question quickly, Robert. Am I still learning pen testing or finished with it? Definitely not finished with it. I failed my OSCP back in 2020, and I haven't really done an awful lot of learning since early 2021 until the last 3 months, where I now work for Bramfit Technology Labs, who are a technical cyber consultancy, and they specialize in AppSec. So the last 12 weeks, I've been drinking from the fire hose that is application security, which has made me understand even more how many knowledge gaps I've got before I can go back to my OSCP. So short answer to the long-winded one I just gave is yes, I am going to carry on and I will pass that OSCP exam, but I've given myself a couple of years from this point to do it. So before my 50th birthday is the answer.
So
where are we on the game, Clint?
So apparently one of the boxes that he had owned was one of these user workstations, probably this one, in the process control network. And he apparently cleaned it, and Jerry lost his pivot as a result. And it looks like Jerry's confused. He's clicking on everything, and as you can see, he's seeing that there are no available actions on any of these boxes because he had his pivot cut. He had his access cut off. And I want to know how many people, yeah, exactly, Jess. Is there any end to learning pen testing? No. Now, I did pen testing for years, for the better part of a straight decade, and there's always something to learn. You're always learning. So anyway, my point over here is that I'm curious, how many times, anybody watching Jerry stream, how many times has Jerry blamed the developers for rigging the code? Jerry is convinced that the developers are rigging the code to work against him. And it's so paranoid. Funny. Yeah, he's paranoid that we are purposely writing code to be anti-Jerry.
Oh, dear. Are you, though?
No, we're not. But I think one of these days, okay, so look, he does have a USB, malicious USB. He's going to try to go on site and drop a malicious USB to try to gain access back to something. But we'll see. So he's got, he does have limited pivots available. He has actions he can perform on some of these things. Yep. So one of the comments is AG, anti-Jerry instead of AI.
Good.
So we'll see what he's going to do here. Looks like he's still working on getting that foothold back. He was close. He was very close. And he's got advanced vulnerabilities now. Oh, so because he has vulnerabilities that he found on these PLCs, all he has to do is get access back to the PLCs or a filled HMI, and he can work on destroying the control system, which would give him a win. But we're coming down to the wire here. We've got 12 turns left, and Jerry needs to get access to those PLCs. That's what he's chasing. There is blood in the water. Jerry smells blood in the water because he can see those PLCs. He's going to try to get access to those PLCs back and go for the ICS win. But if he's not careful, we've got Brandon over here that could go for. Brandon can get the threat intelligence victory. Come on, let's go, Brandon. Let's get that threat intelligence victory.
Is he going to do it, do you think?
I don't know. He passed his turn. Let's see here. All right. Clint, so Aaron says, Clint, I have a pending request in LinkedIn with you after the, okay, absolutely. I'll connect with you. All right. He's still working on, I don't know if he threw an attack. He's trying to get access. I think he's pointing at that PCS firewall. He's trying to get access to that. He smells blood in the water. He's trying to get access here. Oh, I didn't even realize I just said that. I didn't put two and two together. Never mind. I'm not even going to comment on it. I'm just going to leave it alone. I didn't realize I did not realize the other meanings of phrase that I use, so I'll just leave that alone and I'll let everybody else laugh about it.
Oh, I see you just jumped in there, Roy. Sorry, I was trying to do two things at once. Thanks for jumping in. Did you have your tattoo today is the question. I think you were booked in for a bit of sleeve action this afternoon. Be good to know if you had that done. And Bob said Jerry's not confused. He's desperate, which is a very, very valid point, I think, at the moment.
Well, yeah, exactly. But I was literally just wondering if Jerry was actually throwing around that whole, the devs are against me, which at one of these days, I'm going to surprise him. But but all it's going to take, if we mess with them one time, he's never ever going to trust the devs ever again. All right, let's see. Oh, I keep doing that. I guess to be fair, I have to say, let's go Jerry as well. All right. Let's see here. Bob has a good point. Jerry doesn't say that when he wins.
That's very true.
Only when things are going against him.
Very good at shouting about how good he is when he wins.
All right. Brandon's turn. And we have 10 turns left. Brandon, the problem with a threat intelligence victory, I mean, the problem with, so it's hard to play blue team, right? Because whether it's, to get an all clear victory, you just have to keep countering the red team and outlast the red team. But to get a threat intelligence victory, you literally have to rely on the red team to attack and make mistakes.
Brandon's been all right, hasn't he?
Yeah, so I would say if you really get down to it, I mean, it stands to reason with the format, right? To win as the blue team, it's sort of passive, but I mean, it's about defense, right? You have to be mounting a good defense. There is no offense, right? So it's a very different style of a game, right? I mean, can you think of any other games that you win by being purely defensive without being offensive, without attacking? So it's a very unique kind of concept, but you win by being very defensive. And on the red team, there's no defense. You win by being offensive and you have to attack, right? So all right, man, look at that board. It's an impressive board. If you didn't know any better, you would think that Jerry has the upper hand here right now. And he doesn't, but all it would take would be to get one single pivot and all of a sudden he's got the upper hand again. That is how this can swing back and forth so fast. Okay, Jess, you're right. Plants versus Zombies and any tower defense game. I stand massively corrected because you're right. Any Plants versus Zombies style or tower defense styles are very defensive. So, oh, I didn't even notice that. So Jerry was on the perimeter. He got removed from the perimeter. Jerry's chances, look at this. And because he got detected, threat intelligence score is now up 64%. I really think at this point, wait, Jerry's 2 or 3 turns behind. Let's see here. 51. Oh, no,
maybe that was earlier, was it?
I don't know. But
Bob's made a really good point. Blue has to account for everything. Red just needs that one opening, which is a really good point.
Yep, that is a good point. That's
why I wanted to be the red team, Bob, because it seemed a lot easier and more fun.
Oh, I know what's going on. So Jerry's stream, if people are watching Jerry's stream, he's like several turns behind. If they're
Yeah.
watching my stream here, our stream, we're synced up and we're caught up.
Ah, I see. Got you. So what is he up to now? Let's have a look.
Oh
A lot of
man.
red there, Jerry. A lot of red there, Jerry.
Oh, see, like I said, it looks impressive because of this right here. This is what he needs to get access to.
Thanks, Bob. I'll see you in there. I'll jump in this evening and we'll host a quick meet the members event for new people. So it'd be good to see you there.
You know what? And I gotta admit, I've been really slacking on participating in the
Clint,
security.
it's been super tough, hasn't it? For
Yeah,
you with the
between
tech.
well,
Yeah.
but between getting these streams together, also we're currently going through a funding round at ThreatGEN. Yes, I mean that's the great thing is that that's kind of some news here. We're very close to getting our seed round of funding. When that happens, everything is just going to explode in a good way, I hope. But so yeah, we're about to be a fully funded startup here it was a full round of seed funding. Which is really going to open up a lot of doors for us.
That's exciting times, Clint.
Unlike Jerry over there, who has no openings whatsoever. So, even in today's kind of tough economic environment across the world, it's really nice to see that the cybersecurity industry is still thriving.
Well, I'd like to just play devil's advocate there. So when it comes to venture capitalists and money being seeded into the industry, I think the last few months has seen a slight decrease in that, with more companies making more calculated decisions on where they invest their money. So the fact that you've just got that seed round speaks volumes, Clint, and that's coming from someone who spent 20 years in financial services, looking at the economy and the market. So it's going to be tough. I think it's going to be tough times for all of us over the next 18 months to 2 years, but we're all definitely in the right industry or heading towards the right industry for one that can, I suppose, keep his head above the water for that.
Yeah. And well, what we're seeing is that investors are like VCs are being cautious with late stage investment for in cybersecurity, and they're being very cautious with early tech startups, as in we're two guys with an idea, give us money. Where ThreatGEN, we've been around for 4 years. Well, on paper, we've been around for almost 6 years. But our official development is almost 4 years old now. And so we're more like we're an established. We're no longer really a tech startup. We're an established business with an MV. We already have a product on the market. So this type of business model is becoming a lot more attractive to investors now.
I think the other thing that's important to point out is this is unique, and you've mentioned that earlier. And this isn't a sales pitch; this is an external observation. And from attending RSA and InfoSec Europe this year, there's not a lot of unique things about. It's a lot of the same messages, the same buzzwords. So I think that again has a reflection on it.
Yep. So real quick, going back to the screen here. So we're at 57% here now because he keeps getting detected. If we look over at what Jerry was doing, he's not making any progress getting access to his target. And at this point, with 6 turns left, I think that this is going to end. This is literally going to end in a he's at 70% now. So here's what happens. He's got very little. Jerry has very little time left. So at this point, I think Brandon is absolutely going to end up winning an all clear victory, unless Jerry, in his desperation, makes so many loud attacks that Brandon detects him and wins a threat intelligence victory.
Yeah.
It's just I kind of see that's literally what happens. In late stages of the game, because whenever you feel like as the red team you know, you have nothing to lose, you kind of go in guns blazing, and then your threat intelligence score just skyrockets. So I see a lot of what would be all clear victories by the blue team end up being threat intelligence victories by the blue team.
Yeah, again, it's the comment that Alex has made, and I think someone else made it, weathering the storm, isn't it, from the blue side?
Yeah, sorry, I meant weathering the storm, not all clear. I keep saying all clear victory. All clear victory doesn't exist anymore. Well, I mean, it does, but we don't pay attention to it. It's basically fixing all of the vulnerabilities. You can win that way, but we're at 73%. I meant weather the storm is the victory condition for all clear has been kind of a side challenge for a lot of people playing the game. By the way, we have a Discord channel, and I don't think I have the link for it, but we have a Discord channel, and there's a pretty active community. I mean, look at this, 73%, and this is detected. So our Discord community is pretty active. We have beta testers that talk on there all the time, and it's really fun to watch the conversations unfold on our channel, that they talk about strategies. There's all these things like the unicorn is the all clear victory. Everyone has been, you know, it's a victory. It's a win condition that is not likely. And it's a win condition that everybody chases because it's so hard to get. So it's like this unicorn. And I've got some new win conditions that I'm going to be throwing in there as unicorns as well. We got some chat. That's something you talked about, you know, what's happening on our roadmap. He's back on the perimeter, by the way. We have a lot of challenges, and so in the pro community, we're not going to pass this to the Steam community, but in the pro community, there's a lot of challenges where you can get badges and achievements and things like that. And we do not have Steam achievements. Sorry, no Steam achievements on the roadmap. Sorry.
Okay, I think it's the pro one is where the value is at. I'm super excited to learn more about how we can use this in the InfoSec community as well.
Well,
are we at now? Yeah.
You know, because this is meant to be a tool for learning cybersecurity for professional or aspirations of professional purposes. The reason we put it out on Steam is because we firmly believe that getting the word out about cybersecurity, and if you're not sure about cybersecurity yet, and if you're thinking about cybersecurity, the Steam is a low cost of entry so that you can start looking at this and getting a feel for cybersecurity at a high level conceptually, and learn what cybersecurity is all about. So that's why we posted this on Steam. But the Steam version is not meant to be used for professional purposes. It just doesn't have the horsepower behind it. It doesn't have the features. But it's great for having fun with. It's great at parties, but it's great for having fun with. It's great for learning cybersecurity, getting a feel for it, you know, and just kind of seeing what this product, Red versus Blue, is all about. But it's a way to get some cybersecurity exposure, learning cybersecurity out to the masses in a realistic way. And, you know, all the generations that follow us that are going to be getting into cybersecurity, or currently, people are really into games. I mean, we're a gaming culture, and so this is a really good way to introduce cybersecurity to the masses. So
I think Alex is reading my mind, because his comment is very similar to something I was just going to say to you, Clint. He said that you recruited at least 2 beta testers through Steam.
Yeah, exactly. So, well, 3 actually. And so, for example, our current SQA analyst, he was originally a Steam player and very active on our Discord. And oh, look at this.
Oh, it's nearly over. And I've got a meeting in 10 minutes.
Anyway,
this could work well.
Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to, so we hired Greg, and both David and Alex are beta testers, official beta testers for us, that they volunteer to help us, and they came from the Steam community. So the Steam community is definitely valuable to us, and we always go back and forth on whether or not we need to keep supporting the Steam community. And the answer is yes, we do need to keep supporting the Steam community, but at the
I mean, my question was actually around Discord, and you mentioned the roadmap word earlier, and the fact that you've got changes coming up. Do you utilize the fact you've got a lot of people in the Discord community to get feedback on what changes and what improvements you're going to make, or how do you go about that?
Yeah, we track everybody's comments on on Discord, bug reports on Discord, but feature requests both on by the way, Jerry got arrested, so we're probably going to see that threat intelligence score go up even more. But unless that's already been accounted for. So anyway, what are you doing, Jerry?
How much is it on Steam? Quickly, Clint. Someone's asked.
It's $15 on Steam, and every 6 weeks it goes on sale for 50% off. And the pro version is $20 a month or $200 a year, subscription based for individuals.
And if you're watching this on the InfoSec live stream, here's my quick sales pitch. There is a link at the top left-hand corner on our website to ThreatGEN, and that link does give our community a small commission for anyone who clicks and purchases the pro version that way. So if you want to support the InfoSec live community, help keep it free, and benefit from playing this game, please do use the link in the InfoSec live community. I'd really appreciate it. Sales pitch done.
By the way, Simon, please reach out to either Robert or Ashley at our support. I
have.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
I do. Yeah, I think some people have already clicked on the link. I think is the point we're getting to, and I've got a call with Robert tomorrow. So yeah.
Okay. Brilliant. Yeah, we just want to make sure that that all that stuff, that back-end setup is working properly. Put it that way.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
So we're at 96% still, and we are coming out from behind the toilet. I don't know what's going on with that comment.
I don't know how I'm meant to do co-hosting when Bob puts so many funny comments in. Can you just stop for 5 minutes, please?
Do what?
Bob, Jerry was caught in a hallway explaining to janitor why he was in the building.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I'm close, Alex. Very close. Well, look, I'll be honest, I've got 7 minutes. And I've got another meeting that I'm going to have to jump on, because when I said it wasn't important earlier, it's actually a day job of my meeting. So I'm going to have to jump off this in 7 minutes, Clint, no matter where we are.
Yeah, well, I think this is about it. I think, we're on the last turn right here. And then what we're going to do, everybody, is, anybody who wants to stick around, we're going to have I think Simon will end up leaving us. And then the two competitors will join us in the post-game.
I'm hoping I can hold on for that, because I'm really keen to see Jerry's face. So I'll hold on as long as I can.
Yeah, we'll see. We're down to one turn, so I don't think that the threat intelligence victory is going to happen. I think that this is going to be. Yeah, we there's a reason why we bring Simon on to co-host these.
It's not the haircut.
Uh-oh. So apparently there might be a bug. Oh, I see. So David made a comment about being able to queue an action while you're in jail. Little minor thing. I mean, it's a game and it's software, and there are always going to be bugs, no matter what. So likewise, Aaron L.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron.
And so
appreciate it.
All right, so we're coming down to the end here. It's Jerry's turn, I guess. Whose turn is it? Oh, it's still. What are you doing, Brandon? Brandon's just sitting back.
I'm just going to see if I can organize a quick hot drink.
Literally, oh, that's the end. No, it's not over yet, Brandon. You got to end your turn. So it's turn 60 of 60. I guess he's talking to people. It's literally turn 60 of 60. He's just sitting back talking to people. I guess he can let his turn run out. He's making Jerry suffer.
Brilliant. Bob says Jerry's starting with the excuses. I thought he'd started about 20 minutes ago, didn't he?
Oh. All right, we'll see what they are. 3, 2, 1. That's going to be it as soon as Jerry takes his turn. So Jerry has to end his turn, and then it's over. So as soon as Jerry ends his turn, that'll be it, because both teams have to go through. Now, there's nothing he can do. He might as well just end his turn. I don't know what he's trying to do.
He's thinking up some more excuses.
Yep, that's it.
Oh dear, Jerry. Yeah, good point, Alex. Attacking the sim at the death. He had to try something, I think.
Yeah, oh man, Jerry's going through his post game. It can't see the score. The scores don't matter. Scores basically scores for the leaderboards, and what the score represents. The score is a composite for all these metrics, and it's performance based. What's going on here? He's going over his. Oh, so look at that. So the red team score was 0, and the reason why that happens is because, I mean, you can see there's just not much going on. He lost a lot of pivots. You know, he didn't compromise that many boxes. It was really slow going. We are upgrading, by the way. We are in the process of upgrading the score so that it's not so easy to get a 0 score. There's not so many penalties. Let's go ahead and bring on Brandon. Brandon is with us now. Oh, hold on real quick. Let me bring on the full screen view. There we go. All right. So, congratulations. You won.
Woo! Well done, Brandon.
So it looks like your strategy was just basically to be a regular cyber defender, take it easy, sit back, drink coffee, and just let Jerry not really do well.
Pretty much.
So,
pretty much.
Wait, and before I let Jerry, so Jerry's waiting in the green room. Before I let him in to defend himself, I'm just going to say that there are no excuses for this one. The devs were not against him, and his Wi-Fi issues, although I think were hilarious, and no, he's never going to live it down, were not part of his loss. Hold on, let him. He's holding his dongle. There's Jerry. You know what? You're like the statue of David. You lost your dongle, but so
we've talked about cable management a lot, Jerry. Today, cable management has been a topic.
I mean, what? There's never a good time to switch out your hardware, your infrastructure. I decided to do it midweek. Obviously, at the start of the stream, Brandon, you wouldn't know this, but at the start of the stream, I had no audio for like 5 minutes. Didn't realize it. I had to switch to my mic, pull this out. Everything was fine. The way that I played today is consistent with the overall experience that I was having with hardware issues, network issues, lag, gameplay, not committing actions to turns. So I'm thinking that I'm going to be like on site on my next turn, and I show up and I'm still at my, hacker hangout because I didn't commit the change. It was a hot mess on fire. I will say, well, first of all, congratulations, Brandon. Really well-deserved win. I will say that I owned an end-user workstation that was in the PLS network. I had Gonzalez's machine. One more turn, just one more turn, and I would have had a chance to roll the dice to blow up your HMI very early. That was like turn 15 or 20.
He was right there. It is true. He was right there. He had access to your PLCs. He could see them. He just lost the pivot. I mean, you cleaned that machine, and he lost the pivot, and he never could get access to those PLCs again. But he was like literally like 1 or 2 turns away from a win. And also, by the way, you made a critical play mistake in the very early stages, Jerry. You got to the plant, and when you were at the plant, you chose to try to get into the control room or go into the wiring closet or something like that in the data room.
Yeah.
Instead of, if you were to just search for HMIs right there, because there was a large oil and gas network, if you would have searched for HMIs while you're on the plant instead of trying to move further, you would have probably had a better chance. Moving into the control room got you, or trying to move into the control room got you arrested. Searching for HMIs right there in the plant would have yielded better results, and you would have had probably a chance to roll the dice to destroy the ICS early in the game if you would have done that instead of trying to go into the control room.
Yeah, I think I actually entered the control room and searched for HMIs on the same turn. I don't claim to be a pen testing expert or anything like that, but I will say I understand why people do red teaming, because like once I'm on the plant, I'm just like YOLOing everywhere. I'm trying to do everything. I'm trying to like drop USB, install Trojans, penetrate as deep in as I can. I'm doing everything, and incredibly noisy. I will say that Brandon won because he weathered the storm, but his threat intelligence score was so high.
He was about to win with threat intelligence. Yeah.
Yeah, he would have won under that. So good on you, Brandon.
Well, I will tell you this much. The turns were at 60. They're supposed to be at 50. So we had a maximum of 60 turns instead of 50. And I might have actually told you wrong. But either way, yeah, because you were noisy, I agree that that probably should be considered a threat intelligence win.
Yeah, we'll give him the credit for it. So, Brandon, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts and experiences?
I was pretty sad a couple times. Like, I want to say at least on 2 occasions, I was just like talking to people in the chat and kind of taking my time. And I had no idea how quick 60 seconds go. And like, I'd have like 3 resources, just wouldn't do anything. And I'd be like, well, that's definitely not what I wanted or expected there. So there were plenty of times. I mean, my overall staff utilization was like 82%, which I feel okay about. I really wish it would have been more. I know a couple times I went for budget approval requests because I really wanted to get like a 4th person hired and just dedicated them to just like patching, installing AV, installing endpoint like detection capabilities. Mm-hmm. But like I never got the budget close enough. It was like, well, I could hire someone, but then I'd have like $5,000 left, or I'm not to that threshold. So
yeah, hiring a resource on the blue side is a really expensive proposition. I agree 100% with you. One thing that you said last week on stream that I was curious about, did you prioritize EDR on the end user workstation network segment?
So I did at one point in time. I actually started kind of in the engineering area doing that. Kind of the philosophy or the approach I took was I told someone I was going to do like the left of bang strategy. So looking at like wireless, RDP, all of my attack vectors, I really wanted to kind of harden that to make it very hard for you to get in. And then I wanted to focus on like being able to reduce your lateral movement. So I did go for network IDSs. They wouldn't give me necessarily as rich data, but would give me like a broader visibility quicker. And then I did start spamming kind of like if I had one resource left and there wasn't anything good on there, I did start spamming like EDR wherever I could. I got like half of the end user area kind of covered in EDR, but no, I really kind of focused on like some other areas, critical machines like DC early on, a lot of stuff like that.
Nice.
Yeah, I fully expected. I thought that Jerry was going to make a beeline doing a physical attack at the very beginning, because I thought that he was going to figure that, you weren't familiar as much with the ICS portion of it, their physical, and you were going to ignore that early. So that's what I thought he was going to do. And he had an opening early to do that.
Yeah, I was kind of torn at one point in time to actually start doing like the electronic door locks and some of the other physical stuff, but I felt like he would take the approach of doing like the USB. So I did implement some USB controls in some locations early on, but then it was just like way too quiet. So I was just like, all right, I'll just sit back and just try to get visibility and just catch him wherever he tries to pivot or move.
So my initial approach, I did research on physical security and human social engineering heavily, with the idea that I was going to march right into the plant, which I did. And to Clint's point, if I had searched for HMIs instead of trying to go into the plant control room, maybe it would have worked. So I was prioritizing that. And then I went again and tried to go to the corporate side of the house and got arrested again. So once I had been arrested twice, I figured that I don't know if you put in door locks or physical security cameras or educated your end user staff, but
I did security cameras, and that was really it.
Well, it was successful because I basically, after getting arrested twice, decided, okay, I need to do this from Starbucks. I just can't get arrested anymore until the end. Like the last 10 turns, like I was like a child running against a locked door. I was just getting pissed, and I was like, all right, like let's go ham. So
We need to have like some injects, right? Some conditional injects throughout the game that throw you curveballs. Like, because we have that coming up for scenarios, but we need to have that for the regular game where it's like, okay, you got kicked out of Starbucks, lose a turn, kind of thing.
See, I was really hoping while I was doing forensics sometime, like in addition to like the threat intelligence score, like it would give me like a pivot point or something like that Jerry already had. Like, you uncovered like a beachhead. That was one of the things I was talking about. I was like, I don't know if this is a feature, but it'd be a cool feature. That'd give me a place else to kind of focus and kind of remove his access.
Yeah, I don't know if blue team needs more features. Okay, like I'm getting dominated here.
Listen, I tell you what, Jerry. I will rematch you, and I will be the red team, and I'll lay the smack down again.
Oh, gauntlet has been thrown down.
Devastating. Yes. Why is it that everyone I lose to is like all about wanting to play me again? Like they push it. Yeah.
I think it's because everyone sees how devastated you are when you lose, Jerry. I think you need to work on the poker face, my friend.
Yeah. Oh, I don't mind. I meant to lose. Yeah, that's my
I'm gonna let you play. I want you to play to your strength. You can play blue team next time. I'll be red team, and I'll still lay the smack down.
Okay, I do think I would be better at blue than red, but we'll schedule it up. I know a couple people in chat were interested in the game and the platform. I see some people in chat here. Matt Lee, who's like kind of big in the industry and does content, had mentioned he wants to get involved. So it's definitely picking up. There's a lot of opportunity here. I feel like people should get in line to play each other. Like I don't need to be getting, slapped around every week,
Well, we can wait until March and we can do a ThreatGEN March Madness tournament.
Well, we have a tournament already lined up, which is not March, but for September.
Oh, look at that, September Madness.
Yeah, so we need to start. We will start releasing details on that soon. But we have an invitational tournament where the players have already been set. But I think we need some alternates and backups just in case somebody is unable to make it. Like there were some people that were unable to make the call. But either way, we'll release details very soon. I'm thinking by the end of next week we'll actually have the new tournament website up. To where we'll have everything ready to go. But we have this tournament that we're going to be having in September will be the precursor to an actual league we're establishing for red versus blue.
Yeah. Do you want me to share who's in the tournament?
Yeah.
All right. So the tournament will be in September, as Clint mentioned. Simon and Clint will be the sports broadcasters like they were today. The 8-person entering the tournament, one will be me. We also have Ken Underhill. We have Jack Scott. We have newcomer Stacy Loki to the mix. David Meese. Josh Mason, Eric Taylor, and one other one that's escaping my mind. Did I say Jax?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it was the I think Eric? It was. No, it was one that wasn't on the call. It was one that was on the call.
Oh, and Eric Bellardo from Ricey Cyber. Yep. So, and then we'll have to have a couple alternates. I know.
I think Brandon just volunteered to be an alternate.
Yeah. Brandon might be an alternate. So we'll have a couple of alternates, but the entire bracket will be released. We will promote it, so everybody will know when it is, when the matches are going to happen, and it will be awesome. There will be a lot of crap talking. I hope. Me personally, I do not get eliminated in the first round. I will be very.
It's looking likely that you will. So,
bro, come on.
It's love, Jerry. This is all love. You know that.
Oh, okay. I don't know, Simon. Doesn't feel like it.
It is tough love. Tough love, they call it here.
Yeah, I love it. Well, stay tuned for details on that. It'll be coming out on ThreatGEN socials and Simply Cyber's socials as well.
Yep. All right. Well, everybody, I know that we ran really late this time, and some of us have to get to other meetings. And you know what? I would like to thank everybody who stuck with us here on this stream and everybody who came over from other streams to join us. Thank you very much for sticking with us on such a live stream or such a long live stream, I should say. But any final thoughts before we say fare thee well?
No. I would love to see what the metrics are for human on human competition, red team versus blue team success rates. I'm curious if the red wins more when it's human versus human. I'm just curious if that statistically is something. So I'll be looking into that. Stay tuned to my Twitter feeds.
Hey,
for...
so Aaron, so I'll let I'm not sure. So if Aaron, our developer, is still in the audience, I think that we actually do still have the ability to go back and look at the statistics for human versus human games. We have our old statistic. We have a dashboard with all of our old statistics and metrics that we're tracking, and we actually still track a lot more metrics than what is exposed in the pro portal. But I think we can actually go back and we can track the statistics on human versus human games played that were in, that goes on, like literally goes back 2 or 3 years worth of data. We can pull that up for you.
Yeah, let's.
I just don't know if we're still tracking that per se, but I think we are. So,
all right. Well, something to consider. Maybe we adjust the resources if there is a material advantage to the blue team. And I love how chat's like Jerry's making excuses. Jerry's full of crap. Jerry wants stats, demanding recounts. Like, well, come on.
I'll tell you what, right? Where my final thoughts are really a thank you to everyone in the chat, because the chat has been massively engaging today. In particular, Jess, Robert, James, Bob, you've had me in absolute stitches with your constant mocking of Jerry's stress levels. And I think this has made it a really engaging and entertaining event. And Brandon, thanks for making everyone smile, which you clearly have by destroying Jerry today. And it is tough love, Jerry. Everyone does love you. And I think that's why you get the grief. But I'll stop talking because I'm really good at it. And that's me. Thank you, everyone, for your support. It's been awesome.
I have an idea. So Roy in chat just asked if there was a leaderboard, and I said, well, in the pro version, there's a leaderboard for everybody that plays in pro version, kind of behind the scenes. I can create a leaderboard specifically for all of the people that have played on these live streams, and I can expose that to the public, and it will be two leaderboards. One leaderboard will be the number of wins, total number of wins, and the other leaderboard will be total score, because the leaderboard is not relative to wins. It is performance based. So I'll have two leaderboards, and they'll be exposed publicly, and I'll put both those up, and that'll be our running leaderboards for everyone who has played via live stream. So Jerry will have his wins and losses up there, and he'll have his total score. Jerry's going to have a higher score than everybody that hasn't played as much as him, but that's just how it is. So I'll put those up. I'll put those up by tomorrow. By tomorrow, we'll have those up to show total wins and total scores for everyone who has played on these live streams like this. And that will lead up to, and I'll keep that running constantly, and that'll lead up to the league. So we'll have this, we'll have the tournament, and then we'll have the league, but these leaderboards will stay. I'm going to put those up tomorrow, and I'll expose it to everybody.
Yeah, that's a good idea. And Clint, maybe I'll play, or some of the people who are going to be in the tournament can play a little bit as they get used to the platform and everything like that, to help kind of put some stats there and kind of lead into the tournament itself. So that'll be fun.
Why would you say that, Jerry? I mean, you're currently the top of the score leaderboard. You're first place for once.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. On that note, before blood is shed, everybody, thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We really appreciate it. And with that, everybody, take care. We'll see you next time on the next stream. Stay tuned. Take care. Have fun. All that.